Hey, BougieGang, what's going on? Happy Sunday. What's going on? What's good? What's good, everybody? How are you? I hope you've been having a wonderful weekend. I have. And if you're keeping up with me and you are in members, we've been talking all day in members, well, all morning. Anywho, I'm trying to get this. Y'all, I'm trying to get this thing situated. I'm trying to get some little artwork put together. Um, anyway, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I don't like the way this looks. I like my overlays. I feel like overlays just add to the conversation. But this one is not behaving, so I think I'm going to pick a different picture. Okay, this one might work. Okay. All right, let's see who's here. What's going on, guys? Okay, happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Thank you for getting here quickly. Thank you for getting in here as quickly as possible. What's going on? Okay, so I left off. I was talking in members because I went to go find to go get my legal mail, and the legal mail wasn't there. It was weird, but then I just realized I went back and I checked. And do you know, so I checked my last request and it said ready for pickup. I was like, I wanted to cuss somebody out, but it's Sunday and they're not working. So I just kindly sent a note and said, I am not local. Every request, every, I forgot how I put it, but basically all of my requests are for mailing. And I realized, I'm like, it's been damn 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. It's time for another request. It's like, well, damn. And I paid for it 2 weeks ago. I just realized. Anyway, so they'll have that tomorrow morning. Hopefully it'll be out and I'll get it next week. Well, whatever, by next Friday, let's say. Um, but I bet you, because what happens when this happens every blue moon is that I'll end up getting my late request at the time I get my new request. Anyway, um, so that's that. So if you were in members and I went to my PO box, first of all, I want to thank Kathy from Gossip Rumor Innuendo. She sent me a little something in my PO box that was so sweet. And then one of you guys is a resin artist and sent me something beautiful also. I'll take a picture of it and share it. One of our good sisters sent me a beautiful gift. I guess she thought about me and she sent me something very creative and beautiful that she made and put it in a very nice package and sent me a gift. I was like, that is so sweet. Anyway, I love it, and I want to thank y'all for thinking of me. That was very sweet. But I am not gonna lie, I was mad I didn't get my legal mail, but that's okay. It's the typewriter in the front for me. It's the typewriter in the front for me. What typewriter? It's the typewriter. Nosy, explain, because I'm like, I love a good typewriter. I love a good typewriter sound. It's a typewriter in the front. I don't know. Bougie hour has begun right on time. Okay, you just came back from Marshall. Oh, in the intro. Hold on. Did I put some? I wouldn't be surprised. Did I lay over some? It's been a while since I did that. And then it's the music is from Epidemic Sound. Sometimes you guys ask me about it. And oh, I did do that. Yes. Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, so that music is from Epidemic Sound, but when I did the video, I did add in a keyboard sound. I did on the front and tail end. It's so dramatic, right? It's so dramatic. So yeah, if you were to go and download that music from Epidemic Sound, it will not have typewriter because that is the remix by your very own. That is from DJ Fran, okay? I did that. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. I mixed that. I sure did. Okay. Guys, let's get into a couple. We're gonna I want to get caught up on what's going on in South Fulton. South Fulton could very well have a whole Tiffany Henyard situation going on. If you're not up to date on what is going on, you could listen to my intro song all day on repeat. Really? Wow. Thank you. I mean, I do go through a lot to pick out the music that I use, period. So sometimes I spend hours in SoundCloud. I spend a lot of time in Epidemic Sound. So just know that it is curated. Okay. It's not even just picked because we're not of the pick me type. It has been curated specifically with you guys in mind. Okay. It's artisan curation, cultivated. Okay. I did not make it myself, but I damn near. Okay. It is definitely, it's selected with time and effort. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I wish I could take credit for the actual composition, but no, I'm the curator. I am the curator and purveyor of BougieGang. Okay, I am the purveyor. Um, thank you, Tanika. Tanika is so funny. Tanika is kind of like a cousin in my head, like someone who I feel like I have a kinship to, that I'm like, "Oh my god, she acts kind of like me." You kind of remind me of some of my cousins. It's so funny because it's all trouble, when two or more of my people ensemble, it's very much of the shenanigan quality. Tanika's funny. Okay, guys, let's get into it. So we have a Tiffany Henyard thing brewing. Okay. All right. I, the mayor of Fulton, South Fulton, and we've heard a lot about South Fulton. Why? Because of damn Sonya. Okay. She mentioned South Fulton numerous occasions. Your intro is a class. Oh, thank you. Like Law and Order. Wow. Thank you so much. Um, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Tiffany Henry Mess, the female Kwame Kilpatrick. Yes. Thank you so much, CJ Peach, hanging with the hubby. So I'll be on the replay gang. Thank you. And make sure to go to members because I recorded 2 members lives today. So if you guys, we're not going to talk about it. We just go because people out here got very big heads and they are actually in Delulu land. They are very much giving Delulu. But the baby, I'm gonna say it like that. The baby, okay? The baby was on the YouTube streets on Friday night. That's all. Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, babe, the baby. When we watch the baby, I got to go pick up the baby, or I just dropped off the baby. I'm watching the baby. You going to just go ahead and adopt the baby? The baby was over on Blabbermouth's channel. Why they would put a innocent foster baby on Blabbermouth channel, baby, I don't know, but we're not. Okay. That's it. That's all. Okay. I said I wasn't going to talk about it, and that's it. South Fulton being run by Nesto Jr. Okay. Can we go get into some Nesto Jr. real quick? Hold on a second. I put a whole playlist up, and then we're going to talk about Christian. Christian, baby. They say the defendant solicited funds from the plaintiffs for what defendants called an investment. Okay. They said it's an investment, and sir is a felon, and you're not allowed to do that, sir. Okay. They say that, as shown in the foregoing paragraphs, the plaintiff sent defendants money, mostly interstate wire, for what was supposedly an investment mechanism. Christian, Jennifer's husband, baby. Jennifer's husband is in trouble, y'all. Okay. Is in trouble. And it's a problem. Okay? We're gonna get over there too. Okay? All right. Okay. Hey Vic. Hey Boo. Oh, look at your avatar. I need something like that. That is cute. Vic always comes with the avatars. That's cute, Vicky. I like that. Girl, it's Dalton South. Okay, it's Dalton, Fulton South. Okay. Wait, no, not Christian. Maricopa, Dalton, Thornton Township, South Fulton. Your ass going to jail. They done took your electric Mustang. LOL. Ah. They said you took your black ass to Africa. I died. He was trying, so the mayor of South Fulton was trying to make a point. They have been asking him what they're accusing him of misappropriating some money, right? And he said he was so ashamed and embarrassed that they would bring up such a matter during Black History Month. And one of the city council people said, "And you took your black ass to Africa." I hollered. Okay. So I put it all together so you don't have to. And we getting ready to talk about it. Do I have what I need? Ugh. Where is the body cam? Is the body cam present? Uh, okay, let me. It's so embarrassing. All right, let me go to my history. Just a second. It just let me focus. Focus. Okay, here we go. I feel like we should just start. Let me start out with one story first, just to provide a little bit of context, because I'm gonna be like, well, why is this happening? Okay. Let me answer the why is this happening question. And then we're going to get into the full body cam of when he was extricated from his office. Okay. Some of you guys may have already seen it. So if you need to opt out because you've seen this before somewhere else, we'll see you later. It's okay. It's okay. Um, all right. Okay. I love when my phone like just appropriately dings, like ding, like period. Okay, just puts like a little period. Uh, I need to download one of those sounds. Anyway, let's get over here. All right, South Fulton. So where is South Fulton? It is a suburb of Atlanta. Why is the screen? Why
has access to City Hall.
Hold on, babe. Uh, girl, we'll get through. Let me put that right there just in case we need it. Why? Okay, I'm not even. Let me throw this into. Let me throw that over there by Brandy. Uh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay, let's get into it, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure to tap in, y'all. We're gonna find out, just to provide a little bit of extra context or some context. We're just getting into it. The mayor of South Fulton, that's a location of some of Nesto's questionable deeds. Some of his deeds occurred in South Fulton. Okay. And it's interesting because I heard that the mayor is in some trouble over there, and I wanted to understand a little bit more about it. And this case just seemed so appropriate for BougieGang because I know you guys like a good kiki, and it's giving.
South Fulton's mayor no longer has access to City Hall. This comes as city council members voted to strip a lot of Mayor Khalid Kamal's power amidst allegations that he was misusing taxpayer money. Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond is live for us at South Fulton.
Does anyone know what his real name was? Because I saw in I saw that he put in for it a name change, that he changed his name. His name is it Khalid Kamal? Uh, and they call him Mayor Kobe. But I wonder,
City Hall with
I need to look
everything we
into
know
that.
about this. Good afternoon to you.
That's right. So the mayor here in South Fulton, who goes by Mayor Kobe, had until the end of the day yesterday to come here to City Hall and return his city devices and some of the things he purchased with city funds. And now he's not allowed back inside of the building.
I do think that there is a lot of political posturing.
South Fulton Mayor Khalid Kamal no longer has access to city buildings or his mayoral budget, and city employees are not allowed to interact with him. That vote comes after City Council called for an audit on alleged misspending of taxpayer dollars, including on a trip to Ghana, a pool table in his office, and a media room. South Fulton City Council members unanimously
Does this sound a little bit familiar? Is this giving Tiffany Henyard?
voted to strip most of the mayor's powers during a Tuesday night city council meeting.
All those in favor, raise your hand. Is anyone opposed?
During a January meeting, once that audit was announced, Kamal said he was disappointed in the, quote, political posturing. But Councilwoman Helen Willis said this in response.
We're not tearing you down. You took your black behind over to Africa for 20 days and then tell anybody.
In response to the accusations, the mayor created a website.
She blessed him out. She just, in her nice little buttoned up knit jacket and her her sensible bob, said, "What?" With their mics turned up crispy. Do we hear how crispy these mics are?
We're not tearing you down. You took your black behind over to Africa for 20 days and then tell anybody.
In response,
Wait, was sis next to her trying to nudge her like, okay, you said you were going to go in, but don't do all that. Just look over to her side. She gets nudged for a second. Was that purposeful or was that accidental?
Woman Helen Willis said this in response.
We're not tearing you down. You took your black behind over to Africa for 20 days and then tell anybody.
Was she like, sis, tone it down just a little bit? Why does he look like young Luther Campbell? Why does he look like he's getting ready to jump up and say, pop that coochie, hey, pop that coochie, doesn't he look like he's Luther Campbell? He's giving to Live Crew. I'm sorry.
In response to the accusations, the mayor created a website outlining his travel expenses and why he traveled to Ghana.
Sis, take it down just a second.
And other countries. He says he has been.
Nicholas said, she said what she said. I said what I said.
And, quote, promoting South Fulton as an international hub for Black business. Documents shared with Atlanta News First showed thousands of dollars being spent on airline travel and other online purchases. But until the audit and
why does he look like Luther Campbell?
City investigation are complete, the mayor will not be allowed inside the doors of City Hall or any other city building.
Through the unauthorized use of resources and abuse of his position, refusing to follow policy, and engaging in conduct unbecoming to a member, which constitutes a breach of public trust.
Now, it is important to note here that according to the city charter, South Fulton is considered a weak mayor form of government, meaning the mayor already has limited authority. And we've reached out to the mayor multiple times since this decision was made, and we have not yet heard back. Live in South Fulton, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
All right.
Okay, Sarah. Okay, hold on. Let me get our next. I said what I said. She said what she said. You took your black ass to Africa for 20 days. That's a hell of a trip. Okay, first of all, I mean, he must not have any responsibilities at home to be gone for 20 days on what they say was some made up business. Okay, so after that happened, they voted him out, right? Look how it went down at City Hall. If you were wondering Well, what does that mean? They voted him out. Like they voted him out, and what? What happens? Just a second. Okay. Let's see right here. So you saw that meeting? Oh, Jesus, help me. Help me. Help me. Okay. So you saw the meeting room that the city council was just in? That's you see that meeting room? That's it right over her shoulder. They have a pretty spiffy modern building. I'm digging it. So check that out. Okay, so here's the South Fulton police. She's a police. Okay. Look at that. Look at us getting some behind the scenes in the building. Okay. South Fulton mayor, who goes by Mayor Kobe. Did he actually change? Okay, let me be quiet. Look how nice these offices are.
He's coming in. Y'all want to tell him? His what? His car. Is he coming back today?
Oh yeah, he's coming back. I will ask. Let me call him.
If he needs to return, he got to contact Major Rogers. Major Rogers.
And tell him, can you come back in here for me?
Yeah.
Major Rogers on his way up here.
Oh, shit. Okay, so. He was step back in for a second.
You can't come back.
Also, we can go out now.
Hey, Mayor, are you still here?
Yeah, because I mean, technically, he's not supposed to come back in. They are taking him out because he's been stripped of his duties. So, really and truly, he shouldn't be back into the mayor's office because they're currently auditing and they don't want him touching anything, deleting anything, nothing. This happened on February 12th. So, technically, if he stepped out the building, yeah, go get him from outside because he can't go back inside, right? I would say. What do y'all think? I'm sorry, travel girl.
Are y'all removing keys and stuff?
Why the police officer lady? Because she's wearing all that mess. Yeah, that's a nice city office. It's giving high tech. It's giving tech company a little bit.
Huh? This one here? Yeah.
Do you imagine? So they're taking his mayor car, which means that he has to get an Uber or call someone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Any keys or anything?
Okay. Look here.
In the car.
Oh, he said he can. They ain't saying nothing about the car.
Look at our uniformed police patrol ladies. Okay.
He's not in that car.
Sir, are you in there? Sir, we need for you to step out the vehicle. That's city property. It's a Mach. It's what is a Mach 1? It's the Mustang, the electric Mustang. No, it's the Mach 1. I think it's called a Mach 1. It's basically like a hatchback Mustang.
Oh, see here? I hit that switch. Is that down there? That light switch down there? Right there. Okay.
You know they're looking for you.
Oh no, we know. Hey, We trying to figure it out because his assistant was like, he was still here, but the Mustang is here and the headlights on. This is stuff here.
He went maybe he's in the bathroom. Maybe he's using the facilities.
Yeah, she talked to him. I think it's him in the bathroom.
Do you imagine you had a heavy lunch and you went to go use the bathroom and you come out and the police are looking for you, coming to take you away, and you're being stripped of your office and you literally just like everybody knows you just went potty. He's playing Marco Polo. Wait, is that him? Do you guys know what he looks like? Is that him trying to sneak by with the blue toboggan hat? Sir, is that you? Mayor Kobe, excuse me. He said him and his dog are being harassed. We're going to play that one next.
So he need his keys to do that, right?
He left his keys.
If he comes to the front, you say hi?
Too early. What time was it? Girl, they came early in the morning. It's not even 9 o'clock. Sir, we were trying to get you before everybody got into the office. Hi, can I help you, ladies? Is there something I can help you with? Good morning. Oh, he's smiling. Girl, you know when someone's getting fired at the job and people are like, oops, oops, let me go sit at my desk and pretend like I don't know what's getting ready to happen. Why was that man smiling and looked like he was snickering? Kwame's in there taking wouldn't he have a private bathroom in the mayor's office? Stop it. Did you hear he just flushed the toilet? Girl. Hold on, let me move Yo. Hi, Mayor. Are you good? Sir, did you wash your hands? Girl, a double flush.
Have a good day. You too. Okay, sir. You showed up this morning.
Ooh.
He's here now.
Please don't tell me that's him. No.
Mayor, I've been instructed to not allow you in your office.
Ooh.
And also, you are permitted to drive a city vehicle per directions from the city manager and the chief. So that's why I'm here today.
Oh, look, he looks sad. He's like, well, damn.
Can someone drive me to Frederick? Yeah, I don't think that'll be an issue. Hold on one sec. Dog's in the car too? Yeah. I'll see if I can get somebody to check it over. You tell me? Okay. Thanks, bro.
Why is he in the office with his do-rag on? Is that appropriate? Just because? Is that appropriate? I don't care if you are the mayor. Is that appropriate? Is it appropriate to wear? It's like, it's a wave. I guess you call it a wave. I call it a do-rag. It's not okay to wear your bonnet to work. We're not wearing bonnets, sir. Why do you have on a do-rag? That's the equivalent of the male. That's the male version of a bonnet. We don't wear bonnets to work. It's not cool. You're not giving cool. You're grown. You're a mayor. Okay, bye, sir. Sir.
Okay.
Who's his dog? That's his baby. Is he single? It was raining too. Look, we're coming in. They're just passing. Hey, Mayor. They are tired of him. Come on, Pooh. What's he got? A little corgi? You got something. Does he have multiple dogs? He looks like either a little husky, a baby husky. Wait a second. He put his coffee cup down, so the dog started licking on his coffee cup. That's embarrassing. You said he does it all the time. He shares his drinks with his dogs. Ew. I love my dogs, but I don't drink behind them. I definitely don't. Come on, Pooh. Walk of shame. It's for shame. I'm parked over there. Come on. I'll pull up.
Good morning. May I have the key to the car, please? Yep. Thank you.
He's salty. I would imagine he could actually be taking a car with, I'm going to just say $1 million. Someone's going to say, he's not going to have $1 million. He could be taking out, he could have a computer in that bed. No one's checking his items as he is taking his sweet ass time to pack up that car. He could have a ton of shit that belongs to the city in that vehicle and in that gym bag. Like nobody, if that vehicle is city property, I know it's awkward and embarrassing, but it's the same thing as watching someone pack their desk or and giving them like 5 or 10 minutes to not do too much. That vehicle is an extension of his office. If you're taking a company vehicle, they could have easily said, just give us the keys, we'll empty the vehicle out and we'll set up a time for you to come pick the things up, or we'll drop the things to your house. And and go through his bag. I mean, they would have been within their rights to do that. Um, it could have had an extra computer in it. Some people have a computer at their desk and they want to have I mean, I don't know what mayors do, but I'm just saying, it's not out of the ordinary to be issued a new computer. You've got your old computer and you may have two computers. I mean, how many of you who've worked from home before, you work in the office, or you just got issued a new computer and it's that window of returning one and bringing the other one, back into the office, returning one and keeping your new one. You know what I'm saying? He could have any number of random extra cell phones, anything. He's the mayor, right? Was he living? Are you saying he was living in his car? Is that what you're saying? I need some more information about the mayor because it's giving a lot.
Thank you.
Well, the emotional support dog doesn't even have on her work vest. I mean, she seems to be well trained. She's standing. She's just, she's doing what she's supposed to be doing, obeying. But no jacket, no. I'm actually working.
Oh, no, I got it. You got it. Okay. There goes no, he's good. Okay. Okay, you're welcome. See. You good. Sir.
Come on, Fee. He's lucky he got a ride. Did they take his ID?
You gotta turn the app on.
He's like, please. That's reason number 17 why not to wear your do-rag, because that might be the day they send the popos for you. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. He had to leave his mop. You should never get so comfortable with a company car that you don't have your own vehicle. That's a mistake. I hope he has a car. That is embarrassing. Okay. All right, hold on a second. Let me go to the next one. Let's try to see what happened. I wish we could see the city council meeting when this all went down. Just a moment.
We've been following for the past couple weeks for you. This morning, the mayor of South Fulton is barred from City Hall, his budget, and even his own employees. It follows accusations of unauthorized purchases and abuse of power. City council members unanimously approved those measures. 11 Alive's Grace King has been following this story closely for us and has more.
All those in favor, raise your hand.
Just before 1 a.m., the South Fulton City Council opting to drastically restrict the resources of Mayor Khalid Kamu, who now goes by Kobe.
The council has decided to shut down access to the mayoral budget with the exception of his salary and benefits.
The mayor will lose his budget, pool table, film studio, and car, in addition to his building access and ability to talk with city employees.
The city manager is directed to draft a memo to all employees effective immediately to cease and desist all interaction with the mayor.
Council members say these are necessary steps following the mayor's, quote, unauthorized use of resources, abuse of his position, and refusal to follow policy. An 11 Live review of his 2024 financial records found at least 7 international trips, a $1,300 drone, and an $1,800 recreation table from Amazon.
Right,
How many times were you in Colombia?
So again, I went to Colombia 3 times last year.
Okay, Colombia 3 times, Paris twice, Rwanda and Ghana, and Toronto.
Yes, and those all weren't in the same year. That was over 2 years.
On Monday, Mayor Kobe defended his choices to 11 Alive, saying his travel aligns with all local and federal expense guidelines.
I don't report to City Council. I report to the citizens of South Fulton.
But on Wednesday, his online statement suddenly shortened, with all references to policy removed.
The mayor has to follow protocol, and that means he has to work with his colleagues.
None of the council members wanted to go on camera, but they released a joint statement saying these measures will last until all city investigations are complete. The next city council meeting is on Tuesday, February 25th.
Fulton City Council has stripped the city's mayor.
What is going on? Somebody made reference to how quiet the dogs were today, and I'm like, that was a bit too soon. I wish we could see. He scammed the county. He should have gone to the dentist. You guys, y'all, stop playing with that man. Stop playing with him. Okay, wait 1 second. Okay. I'm trying to find something very specific.
Fulton City Council has stripped the city's mayor of power. He had until yesterday to turn in city property, including 3 Mac devices, a drone, and a car key. Atlanta News First reporter Madeline Montgomery.
See those 3 computers, okay?
And the mayor.
3 computers.
That motion was approved unanimously 7-0.
After a seemingly normal city council meeting, Mayor Khalid Kamu, now called Kobe, is cut off.
Council has decided to shut down access to the mayoral budget with the exception of his salary and benefits.
Keeping Kamu away from the budget after announcing an audit of the mayor's spending.
It is the consensus of the council that the mayor, through the unauthorized use of resources and abuse of his position, refusing to follow policy, and engaging in conduct unbecoming to a member, which constitutes a breach of public trust.
The city council.
Not that this is an excuse, but maybe he really didn't know what he was doing. You know, I mean, some people are elevated to these, they run a successful campaign, and then guess what? You're mayor and you don't even know what to do with it. So clearly there's some sort of an issue. I just found the city council meeting. I'm not going to even entertain that we watch all of it. But we might come in at the part where they did do the vote. Let's see. We're going to let this play.
Members suspicious of Kamu misusing taxpayers' money.
The airline travel has been a big concern. The pool table as well, a gaming center, and a media room. Things that are very frivolous.
I am so distressed and disappointed that the blackest city in the United States of America is heading into Black History Month with this all-black council tearing each other down.
The mayor has a history of controversy since coming into office in 2022. He was arrested in 2023 for breaking and entering. That same year, the city council filed a lawsuit to have him removed from office after he recorded executive sessions. Also in 2023, the city's police department canceled the mayor's Easter egg hunt, citing the mayor for not having a proper permit. The mayor will
He's ridiculous.
remain locked out of these buildings, and these actions will remain held against him until the investigation is complete. Reporting in South Fulton, I'm Madeline Montgomery, Atlanta News First.
Okay. Oh, this is the last one. I guess this one is when he says that he feels like they are personally attacking him and his dog. And I guess he's supposed to have some sort of emotional support
To the
dog.
saga surrounding the South Fulton mayor's spending.
Tonight's city council meeting was the first since Mayor Khalid Kamu, also known as Mayor Kobe, walked out when council members questioned his expenses. 11 Alive's Angelina Salcido is live tonight in South Fulton. And Angelina, you were at that meeting tonight. We know council members have raised plenty of concerns about the mayor's use of city funds for things like international trips, but that wasn't the focus tonight.
Yeah, Jennifer, tonight's meeting was different. They actually took aim at the mayor's dog tonight, trying to pass some legislation that would ban animals from city buildings, and that would include the mayor's service dog, Zion, who we actually saw when we walked into the city council meeting tonight. Now, Mayor Kobe actually ended up walking out of the council meeting once they were discussing some other issues that were on the agenda. He walked back in right as they started to talk about the legislation sponsored.
So you see this, he's trying to swipe out, but did they turn off his card at that point?
By District 3 council member Helen Willis. Willis argues it needs to be passed because allowing animals in city buildings without restrictions or signage is a liability. Now, others argued it was a direct dig at the mayor that could be handled in a
Sir, your card doesn't work.
different way.
And this is not about being discriminatory. This is about protecting the city.
I think that the mayor, if we ask him nicely, or if we just ask him and he's understanding what we're saying, he may not bring his dog around. So I just want to make that clear that if that's the issue, I want to be mature about it while we're on the.
I mean, look, I don't know what his. Thank you so much for the gifting. Thank you so much, CW. I appreciate it, hun. I didn't see that. Let me see if I can see who you gifted to. If he were, hey babe. If he were, let's say if he were visually impaired and his dog were also a dog who is working, because if he were visually impaired, the dog is working, right? They wouldn't make that same request. But if the dog is giving optional, the dog is not necessary, you know what I mean? Like, he's opened himself up for people to make these types of claims against him. If he were visually impaired and he had a sight dog, forgive me if I'm referring to the dog incorrectly, but if it were a dog for that reason, nobody would really say anything, right? If he were visually impaired, right? Maybe they feel like it's just bring your dog to work day, and that's not appropriate. It's not a service dog. It's just a buddy. So it's buddy, it's family. You can't bring buddies and families to work every day. Most days you can't, right? So did he take the dog on the trips? I didn't ask. Chica got a membership. Okay. If the dog is a service animal, then the dog needs to be in its appropriate vest and credentials and dropped, even though he's an elected official, give that information to their HR folks, and nobody would be able to say anything about anything. But if the dog doesn't have appropriate documentation, then they're within their rights to at least voice a concern. If the dog is legit, then they'll make the appropriate accommodation, and people can feel how they want. But also he's going to have to be very aware because there are people who are actually just afraid of dogs, even the nicest, kindest, most sweet, gentle. They're just afraid, you know. He wasn't as bad as, well, we don't know that yet. I mean, we don't know that 100% because they haven't completed the audit. What if when they complete the audit, they find out that he has been totally financially out of order? You know what I mean? Like, it could be worse. But Tiffany Henyard, there was sex abuse, and she's abusing the police and the fire department. She's doing a lot. So yeah. So on face, I would have to concur, but I don't know that they've completed their audit yet. Let's finish this.
The record, if it is possible that you can sparingly look out for the employees here and us as council.
Councilwoman Gomes, I already do that. Because I am as a service animal. I will keep my service animal under my control when they are in buildings. And thank you so much for this rich discussion.
So ultimately, Councilmember Willis decided to table this legislation, saying that she plans to bring this to a session where she can bring in an expert and they can talk about the difference between an emotional support animal and a service dog, because that was really the key issue, what they were discussing tonight. That would happen in the near future, and then they would plan to vote possibly on the legislation moving forward. Currently, they are still in executive session. They started the meeting late tonight at around 7:40. I'm told that that is likely where they are talking about the mayor's expenses. That includes those international trips that you guys mentioned that the mayor says were purchased on his P card, that included international trips that were supposedly promoting the city of South Fulton internationally. Once we get any updates about that executive session, we'll of course bring those straight to you. We're live tonight in South Fulton. Angelina Salcido, 11 Alive News.
Angelina, thanks a lot.
Okay. So yeah, there is a difference between emotional support dog and a service dog. So absolutely. There's a huge there is a huge difference. He looks so much like Luther Campbell to me, Luke, Uncle Luke. Okay, let's go over here for a second, y'all. These two. Okay. So we know, so there is a lawsuit pending. Okay. This was filed on February 21st. We're not going to go through the whole entire thing. Simone over at Girl Is That Legal has already gone through this. So we're going to talk about it, some of the details. But there have been, and there's a lady, there's one or two of the people in this lawsuit are in the midst of BougieGang. So just know that. And there are people who are upset. We heard this during the time that Christian was going through his probation revocation situation. It's hard to say that without rhyming, but that's just what it is. His probation revocation situation and the bogus wedding in Paris that actually didn't take place until much later in Las Vegas. Okay, we talked about that here first, right? In any case, Christian is shining a very negative light on himself, and let's get into it because, sir, I mean, you know, we already know this. Where there is smoke, there is fire, and where there's smoke and fire is problems, okay? Anyway, let's start on page 3. Page 1, 2, and 3 goes into detail of the actual. Let me see, where am I? Okay. Let me get back. Okay. Just because I haven't redacted this one. Page 1 is the complaint for damages. Bottom of page 1 and 2 goes into the parties and how much they actually invested. I will spend some time redacting and I'll post it for you guys. I'll do a post on Patreon and you guys can see it if you want to, but let me just, their addresses and things are posted. So we're just going to skip past that for right now. Just so I don't have to. Okay, here we go. Pull this just a second. Yes. Okay. So we don't have to pull all this down. So we'll just pick up right here. If you hadn't heard, okay? So basically, this is a lawsuit. This is not a criminal allegation. This isn't something where he's going to jail based on this, but it's something that could lead. It's a pathway. It's a pathway to prison. But it's a lawsuit nonetheless. The people want their money back. So this is not a criminal allegation. This is civil. This is actually civil on this situation. It is civil and criminal per se, but this particular action is civil. Okay. So I'm sure you've heard that already. The court has jurisdiction and venue over this action because, among other reasons, because defendant lives in Cobb County. The defendant is also subject to jurisdiction of Cobb County because he had persistent contacts and transacted business in Cobb County, Georgia, over a number of years. The facts of the case are the defendant solicited funds from the plaintiffs for what defendants called an investment. As shown in the foregoing paragraphs, plaintiffs and defendant money mostly via interstate wire for what was supposedly an investment mechanism. This is the bad thing, is that Jennifer kind of gets herself involved when he decides to go live or put up videos and talk about his investments. And she's like, oh my God, he's so talented. Guys, I don't even really know what he does, but I know that I've gotten back, these investments are amazing. Meanwhile, you have people who are not seeing any return and they're pissed, also potentially not returning phone calls, emails, giving much attitude about people asking about their money, and they get responses like, Black people are not savvy about investing. It's very condescending and it makes people feel some type of way. It wasn't that I was ignorant when you were taking my money, but now that I'm calling you regarding the timeline I was giving for a return on my funds, now it's a problem. That's kind of the issue, right? People don't just automatically invest in something or do business with someone with the intent that they're going to call the police on them within a couple of weeks, right? They are in good faith entering into a relationship with you, but the good faith is not being returned, right? So these people were under the impression, and the way it's been sold to them, which, do I have that? I'll have to find there is some video out here. Okay, let me just keep going. However, the defendant never had a legitimate investment company. So as shown in the foregoing paragraphs, plaintiff sent defendant money mostly via interstate wire for what was supposedly an investment mechanism. However, defendant never had a legitimate investment opportunity. Defendant failed to take any actions required with accepting investments, including complying with any administrative or regulatory requirements. It was ghetto, okay? Not saying that spreadsheets are good, but it's not what you would think from dealing with someone who says that they're worth millions and they're running some sort of a fund. And it really, once you get involved, and then just the quick changing of how he's going to manage the fund was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna open up a fund with 100 participants. Then it's like, you know what, this fund is doing really good. I'm gonna open it up and have double. So now it's doing really good, but you've also doubled the amount of investors, which could potentially decrease the amount of yield for the individual investor based on however many shares per se that they purchased. And that's not what people sign up for. They sign up for what you sold them when they made the purchase, or they agreed to the deal, right? They didn't agree to a deal of this. They agreed to a deal of that. And he was doing, what it was explained to me is that he was doing a lot of how they say building an airplane in flight, if you've ever heard that. Just doing too much while things are already in motion, changing things up midstream when you have people who agreed to very particular deals, right? Okay. So the defendant failed to take any actions requiring accepting investments, including complying with any administrative and regulatory requirements. Defendant ultimately ceased contact with plaintiffs and never repaid them their initial investment, much less the amounts he promised to pay them. So on top of the fact of it being, it does remind me a little bit about what happened with DJ Envy and the guy that he was in business with, and you see how that's turned out for him. So it's not really good. Okay. Defendant ultimately ceased contact with the plaintiffs, never repaid the money or repaid their initial investment, much less the amounts he promised them. In total, the defendant took and did not return over $120,430.86 with funds from plaintiffs. At minimum, defendant fraudulently misrepresented the investment to the plaintiffs. More likely, defendant never invested plaintiffs' money. Defendant is believed to have run a classic Ponzi scheme where he has paid back early investors in part and with funds from later investors. Defendant improperly took most of the money paid to himself for himself. Defendant also failed to adequately account for the money he received from plaintiffs and others. Over 150 individuals are believed to have been damaged by plaintiffs' fraudulent enterprise and fraudulent actions. Count one, actual fraud. Plaintiffs repeat that and realleges that each allegation in the preceding paragraphs. Defendants set up and operated a scheme to prey on plaintiffs and other individuals around the country. Defendant represented he was operating a legitimate investment opportunity. However, the defendant was never operating a legitimate investment opportunity. Instead, the defendant was operating a Ponzi scheme, taking money from new investors to pay older investors. Defendant acted willfully and sinister in making such false representations through words and actions, plaintiffs and third parties. Defendant intended to induce plaintiffs to act, including by getting plaintiffs to pay defendant amounts in excess of $120,430.86. Defendant also intended to induce plaintiffs to refrain from acting, including withholding materially important and accurate information. Plaintiff justifiably relied on defendant's misrepresentations or concealment of material facts. Plaintiffs are entitled to rescind any alleged contract and seek damages. Plaintiffs had been damaged because defendant fraud in an amount not less than $120,430.86 plus ongoing interest. Plaintiffs are also entitled to their attorney's fees and costs because fraud is an intentional tort. Is an intentional tort. Defendant's actions show willful misconduct, malice, fraud, wantonness, oppression, and an entire want of care that would raise the presumption of conscious indifference to consequences, and punitive damages should be awarded against them and in favor of plaintiff to punish, penalize, and deter such conduct. Count two, constructive fraud. Plaintiff repeats and alleges that each allegation in the preceding paragraphs, defendant committed one or more of the acts of omission or commission. Defendant acts were contrary to legal, equitable duty, trust, confidence, justly reposed. Defendant's actions were contrary to good conscience. Because the defendant's conduct, plaintiffs have been damaged in an amount not less than $120,430.86 plus ongoing interest. Plaintiffs are also entitled to their attorney's fees because fraud is an intentional tort. Defendant's action should show willful misconduct, malice, fraud, wantonness, oppression, or that entire want of care that would raise the presumption of conscious indifference to consequences, and punitive damages should be awarded against them and in favor of the plaintiffs to punish, penalize, and deter further conduct. So money count 3, money had and received. Plaintiff repeats. So it's going into the same thing. So I don't want to repeat it for the third time. Georgia racketeer and influence. So we're up to 3. Where is 4? They go to count X. Georgia racketeer. So isn't that 10? Georgia racketeer influence corrupt organization. So pattern of racketeering. Plaintiff repeats and alleges each allegation in the proceeding. Defendant committed to attempt, aid, and abet, solicited, engaged in at least 2 interrelated predicate incidences of acts of racketeering activity in furtherance or one or more incidences, schemes, and transactions that had the same or similar intent, results, accomplices, victims, and methods of commission, and other interrelated and distinguishing characteristics, and are not isolated incidences that proximity caused injury to the plaintiffs. The incidents or acts of racketeering activity that form the pattern of racketeering activity engaged in by defendant occurred within a relevant period of time and include mail and wire fraud, among others. The acts of racketeering activity extended over a substantial period of time and were sufficiently continuous to form a pattern of racketeering activities. So the predicate acts are the mail and wire fraud. Plaintiffs repeat the allegations and preceding paragraphs. The complaint, including paragraphs 56 and 57, mail and wire fraud constitutes predicate acts racketeering pursuant to OCGA 16-4-3. Defendant used the interstate telephone, electronic communications, U.S. mail in furtherance of the scheme in the course of defrauding plaintiffs in the total payments extracted. As one example, defendant refused to give plaintiff reports on all amounts paid to defendant, and we now know that at least some or all of the funds were misappropriated. Defendant did so with the intent to defraud. It's also reasonably foreseeable that the interstate telephone, electronic communications, and or U.S. mail would be used in defendant's scheme. Interrelationship between the acts and racketeering. The acts of racketeering activity committed by the defendant are interrelated and not isolated incidents in that they all involve numerous transactions or purported transactions and involve the same or similar intents, the same or similar results, the same or similar victims, namely plaintiffs, the same or similar methods of commission, the same or similar benefits to the defendant, and the same or similar efforts to conceal the defendant's misconduct. The incidents and acts of racketeering activity committed by the defendant have the same or similar in that they sought to obtain property, including but not limited to a total payments extracted and the defendant through illegal means. The incidents and acts of racketeering activity committed by the defendant have the same or similar, namely harm to plaintiffs and cash for the defendant. The incidents or acts of racketeering, like basically this is not a coincidence. This is not a one-time thing. This has been happening over and over and over again. And it's a standard, it's like now it's a standard practice of this person's business, but this is illegal, obviously. So this is a racketeering enterprise. That's what they're alleging in this lawsuit. The incidents or acts of racketeering activity committed by the defendant have the same or similar specifically including the plaintiff and all who have been victim by the defendant's conspiracy. The incidents of racketeering activity committed by the defendant have the same or similar methods of commission. Defendant had used numerous and yet unknown entities to perpetuate this RICO enterprise. Injuries to plaintiff proximity caused by defendant's RICO violations. Where am I? 98. I'm sorry. Okay. The code of conduct, the conduct of defendants set forth herein directly plaintiffs and their injuries flow directly from proximately the defendant's incidents and acts of racketeering activity which constitute part of the pattern of racketeering activity. Defendant's actions have caused plaintiff's damages in an amount not less than 120,430.86. Plaintiffs have been injured by reason of defendant's violation, OCGA 1614-4, and the plaintiffs are entitled to recover 3 times the actual damages sustained. So he could be looking at least $400,000, like, so 124.30 multiplied by 3. I'm sure they've also said something about reasonable legal fees, and also they also said something about interest. So that's racking up. Pursuant to OCGA 1614-6, plaintiffs are also entitled to recover their attorney's fees. There you go. In the trial and appellate courts and the costs of the investigation litigation. This could be, I mean, at least $1 million. Wherefore, plaintiffs respectfully pray that that process be issued to properly serve upon defendant. Defendant is compelled to answer these allegations. The court enters a judgment in favor of plaintiffs on all of plaintiff's claims. Court award plaintiff's compensatory damages against the defendant in the amount not less than 124.30.86. The court awards plaintiff treble damages for defendant's violations of OCGA RICO Act. That punitive damages be entered against the defendant in an amount to be determined by a jury. The court award plaintiffs their attorney fees and costs, and plaintiff have such other relief as the court deemed just and proper. Whew. Okay. And this is the information. If you are out here and you have done business with Jennifer Williams and or her husband, there is an attorney. I'll post it on my community. I don't want to park on that address too long because stuff is weird. But it's Dreyer and Associates. They are in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'll put it on I'll just snap that and put this on my community page. So if you know someone who has done business with this couple, and or yourself potentially, there is a email and attorney who is accepting more people into this lawsuit if you are aggrieved by this person. If you have been a victim of, if you are surviving Christian Walden, aka Christian Gold, aka Jennifer's husband, you have invested some money and have not heard back, you might want to get in contact with the lawyer, because they are trying to get those monies returned. Okay. And we do know that a lot of the victims have filed FBI reports. So I'm not in a position to say that there is a full-on investigation, but from what I understand, that there have been reports filed. This is being looked into. I have not heard this directly from any sort of law enforcement, but what we have heard, Simone mentioned it, that there is a FBI investigator who is looking into this. Is there a full-on investigation? I mean, I guess I would imagine so, but I procured that information from our girl over at Girl Is That Legal. So this could turn criminal. You never know. This could turn criminal. People with a certain degree of arrogance for other people's money sometimes find those problems. So, girl, they've been contacted. We know that they've definitely been contacted, and I've seen it on his. So let me just tell you this, on his probation revocation, when they were determining whether he was going to get jail time for lying, Simone filed I guess it was like a lawyer's, it was like an attorney notice or something like that. And she filed, it was like a 60-page document where she had all of the reports from quite a few people who had gone to the FBI website and filed their complaints, along with other relevant information about the situation that was going on with him. Now, at the time, that information wasn't used to block his probation, but it was added to the file. So it's on his file, but it never really got addressed in court because it really wasn't part of the proceeding, but it got into his file on the court. So if you went to Research Georgia and you looked at his probation revocation, it's filed into the case, but it never really got addressed. I think they mentioned something about it in court, but they did not park on it. They did not discuss it because it wasn't really relevant to the matter. And they got it to kind of push it to the side, but it's documented. So it's there. So yeah, there definitely are people who filed against him. And it's pretty damaging information because the people, just imagine you give, whether you gave someone $500 or $5,000 or $20,000, if you're doing business with someone and they say that they're going to do something, you expect them to do it. They expected you to do something, which was invest your money. They talk to you about an opportunity, you commit to doing something, and what you commit to doing is investing. What they commit to doing is accepting your money and doing what they say they're going to do. What this document also alleges, based on what I read, is that they are alleging that he didn't even do anything of what he said he was doing. They are alleging that basically he is proposing investments to people, but he's taking the investment money and paying people as if he did invest. So he's pocketing money, and it's alleging that he's pocketing money and he's basically flipping the money to early investors of so that they can feel like they've gotten a return on their investment, but really he's just running a Ponzi scheme. It's like a classic Ponzi scheme, basically robbing Peter to pay Paul. Girl. He's not concerned, I guess, until, right now it's a lawsuit. And if the lawsuit gets enough, if we don't know how it's going to turn out. I mean, it's a lawsuit that they could end up losing a lot of money and having to pay back a lot of money. That's best case scenario. And if it turns from civil to actually a criminal situation, which it's got the makings of a criminal investigation, if they find that he is really out of order here, he could be facing criminal charges. But I'm not in a position to say that, that's going to happen in the next 3 to 6 months or the next year. But if they're looking into it, they're looking into it because they feel like something is wrong. I mean, people owe money every day. That doesn't necessarily make you a criminal. But if they can prove criminal activity, then he's going to be in trouble just like everybody else who has a RICO, right? And you're going to have to prove that what they're saying that you were doing intentionally, that you were not. So we don't know. Okay. And yeah, Jennifer is willfully ignorant. She's pretending like Christian knows what he's doing. He's so smart. I have no idea what he's doing. I'm trying to figure it out. All the things that she says when he's talking about his investment. And she's like, oh my God, I don't know, but I've just had amazing returns. Hold on a second. So yeah, you see them drinking drinking a little bit of some champagne or prosecco right there on the cell block. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's giving. It's giving problems. It's giving problematic. Okay. You say it's giving Shirley and Nesto 2.0. You guys have said that for a long time. Okay. So that's the deal. That's what happened this week. If you hadn't caught that yet, if you hadn't caught that yet, that is what's going on. He has a lawsuit of a I don't want to say it's of a large variety because there's multiple people who are coming for him all under one lawsuit. So the plaintiff count is high. They feel like there could be up to 150 people. Are there 150 people in this lawsuit? No. But he's not providing reporting. He's not providing refunds. He's on here and he's on the internet pretending like losing money in investments is normal. And that's true, but there's no evidence to substantiate that he ever even had a fund to begin with. And from what I understand, with his felony status, he's not even really in a position to do what he was doing, right? Hold on a second. Let me show you guys something. He basically trades in his own personal trade account your money. Okay? Does that make sense? He has a, just like how you may have like a Fidelity or you have a E-Trade account or whatever. It's like you investing in trade and you have 10 friends that give you $100 a piece. So you take that money and you start investing it in your E-Trade, and it's really your E-Trade account that 10 friends gave you $100. Okay. Let me see. He put up a video recently trying to explain his investing, and I was just like, why does he keep doing this? Life with, hold on. I don't understand why he keeps doing this. Okay, let me show you guys this real quick. He's a weirdo. Okay.
Runs the whole system for that. So when we had the outage, CrowdStrike was the control system for that. So CrowdStrike is the
Girl,
tech
we're not going to
company
park here
that
for long because he's
runs the
ridiculous.
planes,
Thank you
the
to my new
computers on the
member. Thank you,
planes,
boo.
computers
Thank you
and
for
banks and
supporting.
ATMs. So that's the reason why banks were shutting down.
Okay.
Now
He goes into telling his version of financial markets and history. And it's kind of like, okay, mastering the markets with CG and one of his long-term students. If this is one of your long-term students, why are you giving him basics? Like what is going on here? You see this?
You gotta use AI. Like we don't really accelerate the curriculum. Like, of course, it's
You
12.
see this fund right here? So this particular account that they're playing with, I don't know if this is his account or not, if this is Marcus or CG's, but it's $20,000.
Months, but we're gonna have fun with it. So when I was telling you yesterday, right? It gives this indicator literally gives me when to enter, when to exit. As you can see, here's my top band, here's my middle band, and here's my bottom band. Now, even though I use 3 strategies, it could be RSI, it can be Bollinger Band, it can be stochastic. I'd never intertwine them together, even though sometimes they work well together when you do intertwine them if you build it correctly, right? But like I told you yesterday, I've had a very, very, very high success rate since I implemented this in Pine Editor, right?
Okay, so where's the money for the people that you owe?
So I'll go back.
Did put the Bollinger Band in the Pine.
Exactly. Like, you don't even got to really do too much thinking. You just have to know how to word it and tell the system how to do it. Let's get out. And it may pull below, get in, take profit, and then I would literally.
So he's using some sort of AI situation, some
Give
sort
me
of
a profitable strategy for scalping on the 1 minute time frame.
Girl, he is taking your money and using AI strategies,
That's
which
100. Oh, sorry.
might
That's
be
100.
effective. I don't know.
I had a company in Bangladesh, basically like in India. Had a company in Bangladesh. It wasn't a company, it was a group of individuals. As 3 guys. And I paid them
Did he say he had a company in Bangladesh and he said in India? Did he say isn't Bangladesh its own country? Bangladesh and India are not the same place, right?
significant amount of money to code a software for me so it could pretty much scan the chart. Strategy, exit. When the exit
This guy is so
trades,
dumb. I
when the
can't
exit
listen to
trade,
him for too
when they
long.
get into the trade, right? That I use, it's a separate platform that don't have any type of partnership with TradingView, but I'm going back and forth and tagging back and forth.
So right now, I guess he's tutoring some people on how to do what he does. I don't know. I'm not seeing. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of this video was. I would love to see the comments. Let's see. Christian, what about the Rico? Let's see if anyone says anything. I really appreciate your efforts. I need some advice on OKX wallets. Okay. What trading app are you using? Definitely working on mastering trading, claiming in 2025. Nobody said anything about the Rico. I find that hard to believe. But nobody's really seen it too much. It's got 506 views. They're not coming to life with Gen CG to see the struggle, brokering. Okay. They're just not. Hold on a second. Is this Jen's Get Ready With Me? Jen getting her hair done. Oh God. So they're moving to Vegas. They went and got married there,
Hey
so why
guys,
not?
welcome to another episode of Life with Jen and CG, and we are back in our soon-to-be city, Las Vegas.
I don't understand what the significance is of why they are moving to Vegas. I guess it's, we'll find out eventually since this is how they're making some of their money.
And somebody got the Brinks trucks. It's not us. Anyway, today we are
Why is it he has
going
not paid
to
these people or sent them a
look
letter
at
as to why they're not getting any money?
some properties because we are moving, and I'm super excited about this new chapter, moving to Vegas, and yeah, just starting our life here. So we're at the Wynn Hotel. Shout out to Janelle, my casino host, who has been taking care of us. Also, shout out Sonia for this beautiful fur coat. And I know you guys might be like, why is she wearing a fur? It's 46 degrees in Vegas. People think it just gets hot, hot, hot. And it does get hot, hot, hot in the summer, but it's chilly right now. So yeah, I got on the fur. I'm excited to go look at some communities in Vegas. So yeah,
I can't wait till they have to write that check.
we're gonna take you along. Now,
She's always very well dressed, and that's good. That's beautiful. I like that I love that for her. You know what I mean? And I do like to, I like the way she dresses. I do. But we can't get lost in the sauce. Jen's husband is a bum.
see everything because we don't want to show exactly where we're gonna be living, but
And ain't nobody coming to your house, sis. Nobody coming.
yeah.
Maybe
Most
some of
people-
the interiors, but you won't see the exteriors. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Look at the little
Christian wants to make sure to show everybody everything.
Roby.
What is she famous? She's not famous. She's famous to some people. She's a reality show girl.
Alrighty, we are in the car.
She's
and
I would, famous is relative these days. Isn't everybody? Everybody's got social media.
So we just
Like at
saw
the end of the day,
Community.
it's
Sorry, we couldn't take you guys along because it
famous
was
is
super
a
elite.
subjective.
I'm
She's
actually in love with that
the
community.
reason why we know who
But
she is because she was married
you
to
like
a
it, babe?
basketball guy who treated her like crap on
Like I told
during the
the sales
inaugural
manager, I was
seasons of
just like,
Basketball Wives.
there were no misses. I mean, this community has every amenity you can probably think of. Chef on site. We love that the developer
I feel like he's got cheap veneers. Look at the teeth.
is not only took his time, but taking
It's giving that he went to the veneer specialist, the guy who's in jail.
his time to build this community. It's been there for like 6 years. It's been there. Well, it was bought way back in the early 2000s, but it's still nowhere
It's
done
giving
being
that it
built
was built back in
because,
the early
of course, the recession
2000s.
back in 08, and now,
It kills my
things
voice
are
to imitate
progressively picking up.
his
We love the
affect.
fact that you can buy the plot and build on the plot. You can there's a community within a community where they have homes that are pretty much like pre-designed that you can purchase. It was just a hit, and it's like 20 minutes from the strip, which we're on almost.
I think he probably likes to gamble. It's giving he likes gambling.
The little traffic is a little crazy right now, but
You know why he hit a lick with Jennifer? Because Jennifer is all for all show and she's okay with no go. You know what I mean? It's all show.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra Drive.
There was a plot for the property, and the closet was huge.
Oh my
Well, the
God.
primary closet was huge. I mean, y'all already know, our supporters know that Jen got so much stuff. So, yeah, but wifey wants to. It's seeming like wifey wants to custom build.
I mean, who doesn't want custom? It's like this way you get everything you want. It's no like, oh, I should have did this.
Working hand, I think, working like side by side with the architect and design.
You just like when you move in, you're like, oh my God, I got everything that I wanted. And when you're spending a decent amount of money, I feel like you should get what you want, right? That's how I feel. Like if you're gonna pay what we're looking to pay, I want to get what I want, like not what somebody thought up in their head, So
I mean, it's true. It makes sense.
Yeah, like
makes sense.
Girl, to me, it's
yeah.
giving he lied to her and she's lying to herself. Okay. I'm gonna leave that right there. That's what it's giving to me. He lied to her and she's lying to herself. Okay. Jennifer. Okay, guys, let me let y'all go. I need to get some dinner together for my family. I need to handle business in that kitchen. I hope you guys have a good afternoon. If I can come back later, I will. If not, I will see you guys tomorrow. CW, thank you for gifting a friend. Thank you, KD Chaotic. Thank you for becoming a new member. And CJ Peach, baby, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you being here. Anyone who is a member, we went live 2 times already today, and go check it out. We were off the grid. Okay. It was a little bit of off grid. So if you're into it, go ahead, check it out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to keep our eyes. I mean, this is on the, what I mean? We've been talking Gen and CG for a long time over here. There's a whole Gen and CG playlist, future golds. Go ahead and check it out. There is a full and total playlist. So if you're not familiar with it, you're like, who are these people and why? Go ahead and check the Gen and CG playlist and all your questions will be answered. Okay. They are on some foolishness and some shenanigans for a long time. Okay. So if you're curious about them, be curious no more, because all the information that you want to know is right here. Okay. That's it. That's all. Okay, guys. I hope you have a good afternoon. If there's something I missed, something else you want to talk about, make sure to drop it into the comments or wherever I can see it, and then we'll talk about it. Okay. Jen, just stop it. You could have done this on your own instead of risking it with this numbskull. She has her own properties, but you know what I mean? She wants, I think she likes this guy because he's with her BS. She's had guys before that just kind of wanted to use her or use her for arm candy, stuff like that. Christian plays the long game. He actually makes her feel like he is in love. I think the other guys that we've seen her with, like Tim Norman and the other weirdo who stole her Range Rover or her husband, they had her chasing them around like sick, like she was a little sick puppy, right? And giving her a hard time. Christian plays very attentive husband now, boyfriend, right? He plays very attentive with her. He makes her feel special, and that way he can finesse what he wants. Okay. And him over here on line saying that he's been really successful with his trading strategies. What about all this money you say you lost? So have you been successful with it or not? You say you've been successful, but why are all of your clients saying that you're telling them that you lost money? Hello? If you've been successful in making money, why are all of your clients saying that you are telling them that you've lost money? It's not adding up. Either you made money or you lost money. Why do you have people suing you? You've never gotten back to them about $500, but you're a millionaire. You've got a millionaire trading investment situation, and you've got people who've invested hundreds and low thousands, and you have not paid them back. Okay? He's an attention whore. Is that what you're saying? This is not the attention I would want. Yeah, make it make sense. You're either successful or you're not. The fund has either failed or it's not. You've got students on here and you're telling them that these are winning strategies, but you're telling other people that you've lost the money. So which one is it? So that's all I'm saying. Anyway, we're just going to talk about it, keep our eyes on it. Anyway, guys, I will see y'all later. Have a wonderful afternoon. Get out and enjoy the beautiful weather. At least it's beautiful in my area of the country. I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And let me switch this up so I can get over here. Okay. All right, guys. I love you guys. This was so much fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Take care, guys. Bye, guys. See you later.